and welcome into the championship edition of the Commissioner's Corner in the League of Extraordinary Salesmen. The 49ers defeated the Commanders and got help from the Cowboys and the Cardinals, of course, to wrap up the number one seed. Didn't even need to worry about the Ram game despite the loss, yet the Eagles continue to flame out while the Jets are already preparing for the 2024 NFL Draft. So, with that, let's take a look at some of the remaining matchups. The return of Jamar Chase was more of a headline grabber than touchdown grabber, as he didn't help much. However, with Isaiah Pacheco running angry and the key waiver wire pickup in early December of David Njoku, Goody put himself in a solid position to win. Tony was last seen boarding the Ocean Gate submersible as his season quickly imploded, going into the playoffs with a 12-2 record and a bye week. He felt confident, however, an injury to Tyreek Hill and the lack of an RB2 caused his team to fall to Goody 134 to 113.5 to flame out in the postseason and come in fourth. In the championship game, this was one for the ages, as Keith got off to a solid start with Isaiah Likely getting 2 touchdowns in a rout of Miami, and both Debo and Brandon Ayuk got touchdowns against a pathetic Commanders defense. However, I equally benefited from the Ravens pouring it on, with Justice Hill getting 18.5 points, and my fantasy championship stud, old man James Conner, posting 27.5 points to put me in a position to win. Well, it all came down to a stunning come-from-behind effort with DK Metcalf providing just enough points to give me the 121.5 to 121 victory over Keith. So as we saw how the games played out, it's time for our official 2023 Championship and Yuck for Yellow award ceremony. Let's take a look. Starting off with the Yuck for Yellow placard, we thought it was a foregone conclusion that this would be going to Val, as she started out 0-8, and at that point Nick was 3-5. However, when you don't win another game all season, that's exactly how you earn yourself dead last. We can point directly to the brotherly matchup with Matt, where you scored a league low 46 points to be the start of your demise. But you then followed that up by trading away Isaiah Pacheco for Garrett Wilson and a set of used towels. So congratulations to you, Nick, on finishing the season 3-11 and earning your first Yuck for Yellow placard. Coming in third place, Goody, who had an up and down 7-7 season, was the beneficiary of trading for Isaiah Pacheco. Goody got the weekly low score in the final week of the regular season and subsequently was the last team to make the postseason, coming in as the 6th seed. He didn't sound too positive in his video, but he quickly rebounded by putting up 156 points against Jeff to advance to the semifinals. However, going up against Keith, his squad reverted to the boom or bust play, putting up 66.5 points to get put in the third place game, where he finished off Tony to come in third place. Coming in second, Keith was slowly stacking his wins all season as he climbed his way up the standings to eventually overtake Jeff for the number 2 seed in the playoffs and getting one of the coveted bye weeks. In the semifinals, he got balanced production across his roster to easily win and advance to the championship against myself. Unfortunately for him, he loses the championship in devastating fashion, as first-round pick Austin Eckler fails to score 4 points and completely costs him the game and fantasy glory. But a congratulations to you, Keys, for another great season, finishing in second place. And our champion. This still feels surreal, as my team was a complete wild card week in and week out. I had to navigate starting 6 different quarterbacks, as the 2 I drafted both had season-ending injuries in October. Stephon Diggs scored me more than 6 points only once over the last 7 games, and Keenan Allen was on IR for my playoff run. I was likely out of the playoffs after losses to Matt and Val, and then I faced Nick in week 14, where I failed to put up more than 90 points to even put myself at a chance at the postseason. However, in the end, I got the breaks that I needed with some skill and a shit ton of luck to give me another fantasy championship. So once again, in back-to-back seasons, I am your fantasy champion at a measly 7-7. Feels good, but I actually think we have another thing. We've got a special in-person award ceremony coming right at you. Let's take a closer look. So it is officially time for the Yuck for Yellow award ceremony presentation. We have with us, luckily, Nick Garrison. He earned it, and to his credit, he won't be getting this trophy. In fact, he'll be getting this trophy. This Yuck for Yellow, got his name right on it, and the year, a cherished keepsake. He earned it from the get-go. Could have been draft strategy, could have just been poor performance, could have been Arthur Smith not knowing how to use Bijan Robinson at all. But congratulations, Nick, on having a wretched season. Hopefully you hang this with pride and continue to be awful. Do you have anything you'd like to add?
Yes. Thank you. Especially to you, friend. That last game was pretty bad. But, I mean, honestly, the continuous losing didn't help very much. Because usually the team that has the most points at the end of the game wins. And in this case, you deliver my defeat on a Tajay spear tip. Thank you so much. And I'll be hanging this on my wall in my office. Oh, and I will also be hanging this sash on my cock.
How pleasant. Wow.
so fine.
Well, thank you, Nick. Is there anything else perhaps you'd like to have a final worst to first segment coming to the fantasy champion? The trophy presentation. Nick, are you going to hand me this thing in all glory?
Yes. From the worst to the first, the final first to worst segment of the season. Congratulations, Joseph. You whipped my ass and somehow pulled it together at the very end.
Thank you, Nick. This year, honestly, has been wildly different from last year. Last year, it was one of the best things of all time. Discovery of Fire, Adventure of the Submarine, and my fantasy football team from 2022, right up there, best things of all time. This year, however, I would equate my team to the usefulness of a wet paper bag. It was not very good. At no point did I feel confident going into the postseason that I would win a game. I was decidedly mediocre at 7-7. And as Nick alluded to, I needed a horrible last game of the year victory to even get in, plus need some help. At no point, I did not think that I was going to have the success that I have. But fortunately, I ended up being like Miley Cyrus and came in like a wrecking ball and destroyed Meredith in the first round, knocking Tony off his perch in the second round, and barely clipping Keith in the championship round by half a point. Half a damn point. By the narrowest of margins, I defeated Keith. Hats off to you, Keith. You were a worthy adversary, and very much you should hold your head up high. You could have won this championship as well. So this one is incredibly meaningful to me. I will cherish it for many years to come, knowing that I had basically no chance. But I went all the way to the top, as you'll notice once again by my themed necklace. And of course, Nick, no longer in this room because this is for champs only. He got the Yuck for Yellow. So congratulations goes out to myself, only 3-time champion. Feels good. Well, really glad we got an opportunity to do that in person. Now let's all take a field trip to the local waste management facility and see what trash they have for us there.
Well, hello, and welcome to the Hall of Mediocrity for the ceremony to put this lovely piece of hardware on my wall. I found the perfect spot for it. Can you see where it is? Yeah. This is the culmination of all my hard work this season. Feels good. Feels really good to suck. Right here. So I can look at it every single time I'm doing my work. Right? So let's just remind myself how much I'm awful at this. So I'll see you fuckers next year.
That looks lovely, Nick. So glad you found a perfect spot for that. Hopefully you won't add another one next season. Possibly it could be a big for blue, or it could be another yuck for yellow. But just want to reach out for a final time. It's been a fantastic season. Hope you all had a wonderful time playing fantasy football in the League of Extraordinary Salesmen. I've appreciated all the smack talk all season. Definitely did not expect myself to be sitting atop the fantasy standings when the dust settled, but it's been an awesome time. And mark your calendars. Next season, August 24th, Saturday, August 24th, 5 p.m. my house. We will be doing the live draft for the 2024 season. So this way, everybody is well aware, well in advance, and the weekend before Labor Day, get ready. But in the meantime, the 49ers are still rocking and rolling. They're the number one seed in the NFC. They've got the bye week. Hopefully, take care of business, march our way to a Super Bowl, and the next time you hear from me, the quest for 6 will be complete. Well, at that point, the Jets might have a completely different roster. So we'll see. Stay tuned. Best of luck. Go Niners. And Commissioner out.